and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kendra and I'm a physician assistant in aesthetic medicine. So today I am going to do part 2 of my previous jobs, telling you about them because my first one did pretty well. It was pretty popular, probably because I told you about my salary, so it's probably why everybody wanted to watch it. But anyway, my first job as a PA video did pretty good, so I decided to go ahead and do my second job as a PA, which was in ENT surgery. So obviously I know your favorite part about the other video was the salary part, but I'm gonna save that for towards the end like usual. I gotta have you guys for a little bit, right? So I'll tell you about what a typical day looked like for me, what my schedule was like, and why I left, I guess. A typical day for me was usually getting to the hospital around 8 o'clock in the morning. I did half the day in the hospital and then the other half was in the office. So I would get to the hospital, I would, print my list out of my people just like I did in Infectious Disease. I would see who are the new people and who my follow-ups were, and I would go ahead and go around and see them. With the job, I only had 2 hospitals that I had to go to, so way more manageable than my other 4 before in my last job, or my first job, and all the other nursing homes. So 2, I was totally fine with going to 2 of them, no problem. Easy peasy. So for ENT in the hospital, consultations and follow-ups take a little bit more time because there's some more hands-on stuff involved. So for example, I could get a consultation for a foreign body in the throat, or let's say hoarseness. So with those 2 things, I would have to bring my portable scope with me, and if I have a picture or something, I'll put it somewhere here so you know what I'm talking about, and if not, sorry. So I take the scope, and the scope goes through your nostril and down your throat to see the back of your throat. You can see the vocal cords, the back of the tongue, and all that really cool stuff, your epiglottis. It was really cool. I enjoyed doing it, even though the patient didn't really enjoy it very much. So then after the hospitals, I would go to the office. Usually I would go and have lunch before I start the afternoon. We had 2 offices, so for the afternoon I would just go over to whichever one was more busy to help them out with that schedule. So in the office it was pretty similar to the types of consultations that I could get in the hospital. We had things like tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears, my fave, sinus infections, eustachian tube dysfunction, foreign bodies in the ears, wax in the ears, really fun stuff like that. So I would see all that in the office. Some of the hands-on things that I got to do in the office were again scoping people, but this time we had it set up to a TV so that they could see at the same time, which is pretty cool. I would also clean out ears from wax, or I clean out the wax from ears, which is really OCD satisfying and kind of gross. But I enjoy doing it sometimes, which is weird. Also taking out foreign bodies from the ears. So I had this one patient, they had the gel part of headphones stuck in his ear, and like how that happened, I don't know, but he had like big ear holes and I had to like scoop it out because I guess he tried to like flush it out, so it got all like jelly and gross. It was pretty fun to take out, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, those are some of the procedures that I would get to do. Also tympanic membrane injections, and also I had tried to put in some tubes in some ears unsuccessfully, and I never tried again after, but whatever. Also in the office I was doing aesthetics, so usually on Fridays I would take people for Botox and fillers, and if they wanted their eyebrows done, I also know how to do permanent makeup for eyebrows, so that's what I did on Fridays. So a little different from my infectious disease job, I had a call schedule. So usually in the hospitals, if you have emergencies, you will get called in the middle of the night or during the day, whatever time, for them to either get orders from you, for you to come in, answer questions, whatever it may be. So my call schedule was supposed to be every 3rd week, but my friend difference. My colleague that got hired with me didn't have privileges at the hospitals already, so she had to wait like 3 to 4 months for her privileges to kick in. So for those 3 to 4 months, I was on call every other week. So I was working again every other week, because almost every week we had somebody in the hospital, so I had to go in on the weekends to check up on them. Said I would never do it again, but I did it again. Eventually, you know, she did get her privileges, and then we were on for every third because we had another provider. But then she had to go and get pregnant and left me again. So when she got pregnant, we kind of dropped off of the hospitals a little bit, and I was spending pretty much the whole entire day in the office, which was not my cup of tea. No. And of course, aside from all of the rounding and seeing office patients and doing some aesthetics, every other Wednesday we would operate. One of my favorite days, obviously. Kinds of operations that we do would be like thyroidectomies, parotidectomies. He would do a lot of tonsillectomies, but I don't really help in those because he doesn't need help in those. And what else? We also did mastoidectomies, so I did a lot. It was a lot of open procedures, which was my favorite because I love suturing and I love, you know, closing and all that stuff, so it was really fun for me. So a big difference between my infectious disease job and my ENT job was how many people I was seeing a day. So in infectious disease, I was seeing around 40 people a day, whereas in ENT, I was only seeing maybe 12 to 15 patients a day. 20, I would say, like the maximum, because I would spend half the day in the hospital and the other half in the office. But some days we would get up to 20 just in the office, or even more than that. Sometimes we had like 20 in the morning and then like a lot in the afternoon. So, but I was never seeing anywhere near 40 patients in my ENT job. All right, so let's get to the much anticipated part, which is my salary. So this time I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I made because I more recently left this job and I just don't want to say exactly how much. So instead I will give you a range. And my range is from $110,000 to $130,000. Somewhere in between there, that's how much I made. So a lot different from my infectious disease job where I was making $80K as my base plus a bonus, and then jumping to between $110 and $130. So a big difference. One of the main reasons I left my first job, aside from I got to do surgery. So yeah. So you're probably wondering like why I left then, because I was making good money in this job. I left because eventually I was working in the office pretty much all day, and I always told myself that I would never work in an office unless it's something that I love doing, and no offense, I don't 100% love doing ENT in the office all day. I need that mixture of going to the hospital and doing surgery to ultimately be happy. So eventually I just, got tired of that, and I wanted to wait for my friend to come back from her maternity leave so that a doctor wasn't down a provider, because we have 2 locations. So if I were to leave, it would just be my doctor and our other provider, and that means he would have to be at the office every day, and I know he has other things to do, so I didn't want to let him down or anything like that. So I stayed for as long as I could, but then I got laid off anyways, so whatever. So that's all she wrote. I want to keep this video somewhat short because you guys tend to stop watching, or you skip ahead to the parts that you want to see and then you stop. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the notification next to it so you don't miss any videos, and hit the like button. It really helps my channel. And thank you again for watching. I will be starting work vlogs soon. Tomorrow I have some stuff going on, and then in the next few weeks I have more stuff going on. So the vlogging will be back. Yay! And that's it. All right, I'm gonna go now. Bye.